What's going on, guys? It's Darius York back here with you from Saulna Digital, and in today's video, it's going to be part 3 of going over exactly how we're taking our agency from $0 invested to over $84,000 a month, right? So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down our exact ad strategy that has literally allowed us to collect over 100 leads in just 3 days of coming on to this new high ticket offer we got, right? So in full transparency, in part 1 of the video, we went over the outbound acquisition processes we're leveraging to do about 300 to 500 targeted DMs per day. We landed a client, right? And then in document number 2, episode 2 of this series, I went over exactly how we're hiring and managing talent and plugging them in the right places to be able to basically scale out of the roles that we were ultimately doing on the front end. That way now we can focus on fulfillment and client servicing in whole 9 yards. But today's video is going to be about the ad strategy we have used and launched basically to make this offer we got onto extremely profitable. And yeah, so let's just jump right in because I would honestly be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't share this with you guys, right? Because literally beforehand, they were generating leads. Granted, this is a really high ticket offer that we closed. I really like this offer, the people a lot on there, right? But they were generating leads for about $272 a pop before. And now literally coming on, refining their systems, giving them some simple SOPs, dialing in their scripting, their targeting, whole 9 yards, actually setting up their ads in a profitable way. We literally generated 184 leads literally since coming on. For confidentiality purposes, I can't really show you guys actual Facebook, right, for this client, but just know that this is since the 1st of February. Literally leads coming in for less than $1.20, right? Obviously, we've done some refinement since then because obviously not all those are going to be like extremely like qualified, but I will say majority of those leads are qualified and signed up for the offer because the offer we're running right now is really good and we're targeting the right ICP, right? So a good bit of these people actually did convert, which has been really freaking cool to see. And it's why we're sharing it, right? Yeah, so episode 3, we're going to be diving into ads, right? Right now, I don't even think we've done a video yet over the inbound acquisition ascension process. We're mainly just leveraging outbound right now, right? Especially with, the offers we're on and within ourselves, So like I said, I've already gone over the outbound systems. Make sure you go check that out. Rinsent, I go over the SOPs, whole 9 yards. Today I'm going to be going over the direct and indirect ads funnel that we're leveraging, right? How we're getting the most like opt-ins right now, collecting the name, number, email, whole 9 yards, how we're tracking it and how we're appointment setting, right, off of these processes. Okay, but like I said, I want to go into the actual like ad build, right? Step 1, it's going over scripting, right? Like let's get super clear on exactly who you were targeting, right? Like this is the main thing for ads, right? Your market approach has to be dialed for this to work, right? Like literally for us to generate 184 leads in literally like 2 weeks of launching these ads, is nutty, right? But all that is just dialing in exactly what their ICP on this offer wants to hear, right? And so there's 2 different ads you can run, right? That we found personally is going to get you the best leverage, right? And it all depends, right, upon where you're at currently, right? So the follower ads, right? This is when your content assets are just dialed, right? Like you gain a new follower for, like $3 to $4, around that mark, super highly targeted followers. They watch your content assets and they're just getting nurtured, right? And they're just getting nurtured and nurtured and nurtured. And then they go to buy, right? Like all those content assets are set up in the right form, right? And all that looks like is one, like I said, identify, know who you want to target. If you're an ICP in a certain niche, making a certain amount of money, right? Like dial in that messaging, who you're targeting, who you're talking to. address the outcome of the pain, right? So this is for exactly like building the ads within the messenger, right? Like this is what you're going to do within the actual ad build, right? To write in the headline, the actual copy for the ad, the whole 9 yards, right? Understanding the main pain points, right? The solution, right? You're going to solve the pain that you're addressing, right? If you actually want to scale and overcome X and get to X by leveraging, the acquisition ascension process, whatever your thing is, right? Plug that in, right? And then give them the call to action. Give me a follow and start going through all my content where I show you headline, a big, bold statement of exactly what they want to hear, right? And then you eliminate risk, right? Decrease effort and sacrifice, time and friction, right? Hormozzi formula, right? Like make this an easy solution for them, right? This can happen for them in 7 to 14 days, right? Fast, easy, with no effort, right? Little key words like that, that's going to make them be like, okay, I need to do this now, right? That's going to, eliminating risk also adds urgency, right? This is the exact process my clients use to go from 0 to 50K, right? Like desired outcome, right? Fast, solution oriented, Then NCTA, that's going to be like you learn more, click now, join now, right? And like I said, I'm about to dive into actually what that looks like within that ads manager. But that's what the follower ads formula looks like, right? As far as launching ads to get followers that convert over and buy, this is the build that you need to do and the framework of the build you need to leverage, right? So pause this video, write it down, map this out, actually take time and dive into this. And if you need help diving into this, make sure you comment below or reach out to us, book a consulting call. We'll get on there, we'll dive into our frameworks and personalize it with you, right? Like that's what we do in our consulting offer that we have, right? We personalize this whole acquisition process on behalf of you, and we literally show you how with these KPIs, you can literally, even just on an average 2K offer, you can add $60,000 to $120,000 a month in cash collected to your business by just leveraging these simple outbound acquisition systems. Okay? Yeah. But the main thing, the main one that I want you guys to hone in on, right? That if you dial this in, it'll funnel into the followers. It'll funnel into just all the lead generation for ads, which is the main purpose of ads, right? Is lead generation, right? Let's be real. Okay? The main thing you need to worry about here is the messenger and lead ad, right? So like when you're going to build on Facebook, right, we're going to opt in for leads when building this one, right? We're going to do leads, okay? And you're always going to click manual campaign when going to build these, right? Always make sure you do a manual campaign. Before I get ahead of myself, right, this is what the formula for those lead ads look like, right? It's headline, the X steps I took to scale my client's agency from X to X in time frame, right? Solutions or testimonials here, right? Where you're still it's very similar to this, but just different, right? It's a little different, right? Solutions, then CTA, message me X word and get the exact free action plan, right? Give them a reason to opt in. Give them a reason to give them their info, right? Like run a good offer out to your ICP that's going to collect their email, their phone number, their name, right? I'm going to go over how to actually build the lead forms, right? Whole 9 yards, right? This is what this is for, collecting info, right? Which I believe is the best thing you can do when running ads. We found it to be the most profitable because now you can set up, email campaigns, right? You can set up warm dial campaigns, right? You can allow your growth specialists and VAs to actually leverage more of your exact target audience, right? Just gathering their info. I think that's super important, right? So leverage that, right? Because once you dial in these, doing a follower ad is it's so simple. It's literally so simple, right? So set the goal of the campaign for generating leads, select leads, right? If you want to do the engagement ads like I'm talking about here, just select engagement when you're in the back end of Meta, right? Always click on manual leads campaign, okay? When going to build, make sure on the campaign tab, right, when you're first getting in, right, turn on your advanced campaign budget, right? We want a daily budget of at least $30, right? We found 30 USD per day is going to get you proper results, straight up, all right? As far as next steps, hit continue. We're next at the bottom. You're going to be in the ad set. We're going to do instant forms, right? Now, you can do instant forms and Messenger, where at the end they fill it in, right? It'll start a chat in Messenger, right? That works as well. Just depends on the offer. We found instant forms work best with the call to action at the end being, don't wait, book a call now, right? Like, give them that next step of urgency in the funnel to just book the call themselves instead of us having to, warm dial, book them, whole 9 yards. They can just do it themselves. We found that works best in Facebook, right? Select instant form, and then turn on dynamic creative, right? What this does, instead of launching a bunch of different ad sets and ads, we're split to like this one, the offer we just came on for and optimized, right? This one right here where we literally got 184 leads. Like now this number is like well into like the 230 mark, I believe, last time I checked. And what's today's date? The 20th. That's literally like it's nutty how many leads are coming in each day right now for that offer. But it's because of this it's because of these SOPs that we implemented, right? And that I'm sharing with you guys. So I really hope that you're taking notes, you're pausing this whole 9 yards, and you're gonna do this, right? Turn on dynamic creative, like please, right? Literally, like over here, when we turn on manual campaign, we told Facebook we don't want it to do its AI stuff because we actually want to manually tell it to do its AI stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're turning on, right? Like over here, advanced campaign budget, right? We're allowing Meta to distribute the campaigns evenly across different ad sets, right? Like what's going to work, right? Okay, now how do we leverage it the most, right? We turn on dynamic creative, right? What dynamic creative does, instead of leveraging, like I said, a bunch of different ads, because people will load up like fucking 7 different ads within one ad set, right? And it's trying to disperse so much money across it, right? Dynamic creative, you can literally leverage 10 creatives within one ad, and it'll run the most optimal creative that they found works in the algorithm it's targeting. It'll run that creative to that person literally automatically, right? And it'll dispense the budget evenly, right? To the most winning creatives and to the best actual performing ad, right? And you're allowing Meta to do all of this, right? And this alone will just increase your performance like crazy. Doing a dynamic creative, right? As far as that goes, that's next steps within the ad build in the ad set portion, right? I highly suggest you don't select an end date. We want Meta to feel like it has time to optimize, grow, build. It doesn't have to go through like this learning phase because we're just going to let the ads rip, right? We want to kind of trick the algorithm here. We found that works best as well, right? Like I said, this has come from doing SMMA. Like we literally had over 30 clients in our SMMA, right? Where we were doing complete just lead gen, general contractors, home improvement niche, like whole 9 yards, photography companies. Like, well, we were just doing lead gen, building ads, whole 9 yards. This, like, for selling high ticket products online, this is literally the best ad formula that you can use. Like, I mean, this literally alone proves it. 184 leads. Literally, when we plugged in the emails, we had an 80, like, it showed us how many of the emails were legit. It was 87% of all the numbers and emails that we got from this were legit, okay? If that gives you a good feel of how this will work, all right? Like we said, don't select an end date. We want Meta to believe you are here for the long haul. And then this is where you're going to, do your targeting locations, right? If you're new to this, right, you can dial this in within like a 5 to 10 mile radius of, let's say Chicago, Illinois, right? You can do within 5 to 10 miles of the target location if you're like a local company, right? If you're doing this for a local business. Whole 9 yards, right? Country-wise, right? If you're leveraging high-ticket products, you obviously want to do first world countries. I hate to say it, but third world countries that usually come from like around this part of the world are pretty bad leads. All right, I'm not going to talk too much smack in that regards, right? Because here nor there, we do have people on our team from these parts of the world that are killers, so I don't even want to talk bad about it. But we found the best leads are obviously the ones with money. Isn't that a shocker? Right. We found the people with money are in the first world countries. Here we go. All right, not rocket science. But we just got to figure out where your ICP resides, right? That's the main thing. That's the main thing. Like, where does your ICP reside, right? As far as that goes, then we're going to put in the input to the build, right? You're going to literally have the opportunity to select a bunch of different images, a bunch of different videos. The best thing I can recommend for you guys is split test, right? Do 5, like it says 1 out of 10, right? Do 5 images and 5 videos. Allow it to manually split test itself, right? You could even, right? Since we set the campaign up on the budget, we optimize the Advantage campaign. And it's not just leveraging, like we can do a duplicate ad set, do 2 ad sets, right? Run another dynamic creative, right? This one, we can call this new leads ads still pics. And you can just stress like just still pictures. And then the next ad set, you can leverage, new leads ad VSLs, right? And we can split test, 5 different videos. And then we can see which ad set performs the best out of those, right? And then we can narrow down, leverage winners from there, right? Whole 9 yards, right? But this is overall the exact build you need to become profitable and run profitable ads, right? Now, you want to dial in your messaging, like I said, back up here, right? Dial in your scripting, get super clear on who you're targeting, right? Leverage these frameworks to plug in to the ads, right? Go through the descriptions, right? And when you're going into the ad build, right, it's going to give you an option, right, to like add an extra headline or add an extra description, right? Where like you have up to like, I believe 5 on each one, right? Max them out, right? Like I said, allow Facebook the opportunity to leverage its AI tools and optimize, what is actually going to work and be in congruence with your ICP, right? Let it split test different variations, right? Let it be the most optimal ad it can be, and I promise you it will perform, right? Now, when going to build the lead form at the bottom, you're just going to hit the create the form, and you're going to make sure that's going to be an exact congruence with what you're talking about, right? We found it best that, when going to build the lead form, you have 2 manual questions, right? Make them type in their first name and make them input their phone number, right? We don't want autofill for those, right? We want them to manually input it. So there is some actual action, right? Where it becomes super botted with lead forms and is not super qualified is when someone clicks on it, right? And you have all these pre-filled questions and people can just pre-fill it, super fast fill it out, right? Yes, it's more efficient, but it's less qualified leads, right? Because it just gets super botted like that, right? Make them type in their number, make them type in their name, right? So they have, like, when you do warmed out this lead, they remember doing some sort of action in congruence with what you had to offer and what the ad was about, right? And we found that just works tremendously well. All right. As far as that goes, that's basically, pretty much it as far as like you launching ads today and getting profitable, right? Next steps after ads, we leverage we leverage Go High Level, right? Where you can integrate, your Facebook, you can, track all of your conversions, your ad performance, whole 9 yards, right? What our Go High Level looks like, right? You're going to log into the account, connect to Facebook. You're going to map the lead form within the integration settings, right? Map the lead form, that's where you can, map, like the contacts, right? If you're getting someone's name, email, phone number, it'll map all those fields for you, and it'll literally create them a contact. Every lead that inputs their info, right? That's what mapping the lead form is. On the back end, you're going to create a pipeline within Go High Level. After you have, gone into the CRM, created your pipelines, you're going to set up different tabs under each pipeline, right? I found it best. You're going to have like new opt-in, right? You're going to have, booked meeting, unqualified, qualified, closed, right? Something of that sort, right? Whatever's in congruence with the stages within the leads, right? That's just where you're mapping out the lead stages, right? Like for one of the offers, we have like first dial, like dialed lead, booked meeting, unqualified, qualified, closed deal, in nurture, right? Like, so when they get moved to the in nurture process, now they get moved to the email drip campaign, right? We're setting up triggers and automations of wherever they're going, right? In a whole 9 yards. We're assigning them to the right VAs, right? We're actually building out the CRMs so it's in an automated fashion. And literally, like, so once, because, like, literally, if we have to manage 184 leads by downloading a CSV every time, plugging it into an Excel sheet, like, it's not optimal. When literally we can plug it into a CRM, it can literally automate us and let us know every time a lead gets opt-in, because speed to lead is important, right? It can automatically send them an email campaign. It can automatically add them to a nurture sequence, right? It can automatically shoot them a text. It can automatically let the VA know that they have someone that they need to call, like, within the hour at least, ideally within the next 10 minutes, right? Because staying top of mind, right? Speed to lead is important, right? As far as increasing conversions, okay? And all that is huge and important when it comes to, collecting cash at a really high level, right? And like I said, that's exactly what we're documenting for you guys. And we're going into the ad build and now into the back end of the ad build, right? So like I said, you can create the automation, what that looks like, at least within Go High level, what it looks like, right? Because that's what we're really good at as far as CRM, back end stuff, whole 9 yards. It's going to look like Facebook lead form submitted, right? You're going to add the contacts. You're going to add them to the pipeline that you just created, right? You're going to do like create opportunity, add to pipeline, whole 9 yards. You're going to tell it to notify you, send internal notification, and then custom email. You're going to tell it to send you an email, right? Which is going to be, to your VA or to you, whoever's going to be warm dialing the leads as they come in, right? And then you're going to assign the lead to, like I said, whoever's warm dialing the leads when they come in, right? Step 3 is going to be warm dial, and then, book meetings. And then everyone that doesn't, book, they get added to just the nurture sequence and processes, right, of this whole acquisition ascension process, right, going down into here, going through the DM set process, right? Whole 9 yards. If they don't answer, we don't text them yet. We actually dial them again. We have all of our VAs and growth specialists double dial leads, right? We shoot them a text, letting them know who we are, right? And then, a couple hours go by, we're going to double dial them again, right? We're going to hammer them that day, right? And we'll do that for about 3 days, right? As far as, 4 dials a day per lead if they're not answering, right? Ideally, they will pick up or spawn before then, right? We're getting a lot of positive responses in our messages, which are getting people to book, right? All we're doing is starting a DM set process now that we have their phone numbers, right? So now it's a little more personable. It's not cold outbound, right? It's not this whole outbound process where we're trying to flip the script, turning it into warm once we've like cold outreached. It's warm. It's like, hey, I saw you opted in for said lead mag or said, objective. Where are you currently at, right? Tell me a little more, right? Nurture, right? Let's book them in, right? And then we have their emails, right? We have their phone numbers, right? Like, now they can't go anywhere. Now they're getting added to, the newsletters. Now they get added to the email drip sequence. Now they're just, now, you know what I'm saying? Now we're actually doing back end real marketing for these offers to scale these offers, right? Like, that's what this whole acquisition ascension process is about, right? It's about collecting cash. It's about nurturing people. It's about actually marketing, right? It's more than just a front end. I'm doing content. I'm trying to get some people to opt in, right? It's the whole actual ascension process of scaling an offer, building contacts, building an email list, right? Getting people to convert from ads, getting people to convert from inbound content, right? Running the right strategies, dialing in the scripting, understanding what your ICP wants, like getting super congruent with the market, right? Because right now the market's saturated, right? The market's saturated, and you have to stand out. You know what I'm saying? People have so much access to knowledge and information right now that if your messaging isn't in congruence with your actual ICP, right, in the right angle, it's not going to resonate with them and it's not going to stick today, and especially if you're not offering real value, right? Like for us, that's prerequisite one as far as working with people, making sure they're offering real value and genuinely getting people really good results, because we know if they're doing all of those things, we can come on and scale them, right? We can plug in these acquisition ascension processes, right? And literally, crush it. Like I said, if you hammer in these KPIs, whole 9 yards, literally just by this outbound acquisition process, not even leveraging inbound, you will be on pace, even if you just have an average 2K offer you will be on pace for $60,000 to $120,000 a month cash collected, right? Ideally, we're getting you, 3 to 5 book calls a day, right? That's 2 to 4 show ups. That's 1 to 2 closes per day, with the right setter and with everything in congruence. Getting the right ICP, like I said, with money, that's all huge and important, right? Obviously, it's going to take some refinement up front per offer, right? But that's the consulting we do, right? As far as giving you guys all these systems, we have all these plug and play systems for you guys. Like I said, if you guys want them, make sure you reach out to us. We'll hop on a call, see if it's a good fit to plug them into your business. We'll literally show you how to leverage everything as far as it goes and get you on a run rate of literally putting your agency at over $1 million a year, right? That's the goal for everybody. We want to drive the Porsche now. We want to get the G-Wagon now, right? I'm going to have a G-Wagon by Christmas. That's on my to-do list, right? We could send it now, but I think I'm going to do it around Christmas time. I think that'd be a good time to do it. But here nor there, if you want help with any of this, guys, reach out, because what we're doing in the market right now, I can genuinely say that there's a demand and everyone needs it. And you want to jump onto this before it's oversaturated. All right? Outside of that, this was episode 3 of how we're literally going from $0 invested to $84,000 a month. How in the first episode we showed you guys all the outbound acquisition systems we used. We leveraged all the free trials. Boom, right? We closed the client, right? They paid for all the systems, whole 9 yards. And we literally showed you guys how we are literally onboarding talent and setters now to take over those roles so meetings can keep rolling in for us, and they can also get on the offers that we're getting onto in closing, right? Because we have a consulting and a done-for-you side. And on our done-for-you side, we need more setters. So if you're a setter and you've watched the video this long, or you are an agency owner and, you want to get plugged in, we have offers you can hop on. So also reach out to us about that, right? You just got to prove yourself first, because that's our reputation on the line. We like plugging in our network personally, right? Like right now, we have an internship going up where we're onboarding about 10 interns. And I would say about 4 of them will probably move on to making about $20,000 a month, getting plugged into these offers that we're closing. Whole 9 yards, right? Like building their agency within this ecosystem we're building, right? Because what we're doing for other people is also what we're doing on ourselves, right? So we're just refining the systems daily, right? And it's fun. It's fun. I'm genuinely excited to see where this is going, and just see how it's growing at this really rapid rate right now, right? There's just so much alignment going on in the marketplace with people we're talking to that need these systems, right? And like I said, if that's you, reach out to us. We would love to hop on a call with you and just see if it makes sense, So outside of that, we'll see you guys at the top. Peace.